So let me ask you a question. How many things in your business can only you do? Like, seriously, stop and think about this for a while. Because for all of us, we exist in this place. I know I do, and I'm always working on it. I'm sure you do as well, where there are things that we do and it feels like only we can do and only we should do even within our business. Maybe that's sales. Maybe that's actually doing the thing of your company, or maybe it's a matter of you're a professional, right? Maybe you're a doctor or a lawyer. And so, yeah, nobody can go to court for you, or nobody can actually hold a scalpel and go into surgery for you. And so you feel like there's these natural things that only you can do within your company. And we all exist in that way. And to some extent, depending on what it is that you're doing and who you are in your business, there may even be some truth to the fact that, yeah, it may require someone with your talent or your skill set in order to do it. But let me ask you this. If you're the only one who can do the thing, anything in your business, doesn't that also make you the bottleneck? Doesn't that also make you the limiting factor? Doesn't that also mean you can't ever take a break? Because if you do, that thing won't get done. And I know it's one of those places and areas where it's like, yeah, but that may be true, but what else am I supposed to do? Where else am I supposed to go? How else am I supposed to solve this? Because I'm the one who went to school. I'm the one who has the experience. I'm the one who has the talent. What am I supposed to do? That may well be true. And you have to consider, if that is going to be true forever, that means you're going to be tied, a slave, the bottleneck, I can use a whole bunch of other adjectives here, in your business forever. And that's not what you want, is it? Do you want to be a slave to your business? Do you want to be the bottleneck forever? I don't think you want that. I know I don't want that. But we create these environments where we are. We create these realities where we are. And here's how you start to get out of that reality. And yes, delegation is a big part of it. And obviously you can read my book on delegation and so on and so forth. But I want to go a little bit further here into a little bit more of the depth of your own psychology for a moment behind this. So in your business right now, what is your salary? You don't got to tell me. I'm asking a rhetorical question, but I want you to answer that to yourself. How much is my salary? Because I guarantee you probably either aren't paying yourself or you're not paying yourself a ton. Yeah, I fall victim to that. I'm sure you're falling victim to that as well. And here's how you measure it. If you had to get someone else to do your job, how much would you have to pay them? And are you paying yourself at least that much or more? Because if you're not, then you're not paying yourself what you're worth. And that thread right there, even if you learned everything about delegation that I ever teach or anyone else ever teaches, even if you were a master at delegation, that singular thread right there is what will keep you bound, tied, enslaved to your business. Look, we all deal with it. I'm not pointing a finger at you. You know that old adage, like if you point at somebody, you got, they say you have 4 fingers pointing back at you, but it's really, I don't know if my thumb is really pointing back, 3 fingers pointing back at me. And so I'm recording this video and I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to me because there are areas in my company right now where I'm not paying myself what I'm worth. I'm doing work and I'm not being compensated for what that's worth. And so therefore, in my mind, it's hard to hire someone else and delegate to them when I wasn't getting paid to do it. And so that is a very fundamental thing that we have to fix right now. You gotta pay yourself what you're worth. Now, you may not be, and I know what you're gonna say. Well, Atiba, I'm not in a financial position where I can do that right now. Okay, fine. I get that. I do. But you're also not giving yourself anything for what you're worth right now. You're actually depleting and robbing yourself. You're allowing the business to rob you right now. And it's time that you put it in place, that even if it's nominal, you start at, figure out, here's the formula. Figure out how much it is that you should be being paid for this role, how much you would pay someone else, and start off by, make it simple. Pay yourself 1% of that next week. Every week, pay yourself 1% of it. When that 1% doesn't feel like a lot, increase it to 2%. When your bank account realizes it can handle the 2%, increase it to 3%. And continue increasing it until you're paying yourself 25% per week. Because if you're paying yourself 25% per week, then you're paying yourself 100% per month. You see, we've got to do that for ourselves, because in the moment when we realize that we've done that, now we can see clearly to that path of how we can afford to hire someone else to do the job. And if we don't, believe me, you and I, we're heading for disaster. I got to figure this out right now. Right? I got to figure this out right now myself in a couple of the tasks and roles that I'm playing in the company. I got to start paying myself. You got to do it too. So let's agree. Let's start next Monday. We're going to take the rest of this week. We're going to start next Monday, and we're going to figure out how much we would have paid someone to do this role, and we're going to pay ourselves 1% of that every single week. Deal? Let's shake on it. All right, let's do it.